and welcome everybody to this week's vlog. Alright, so because the last two books that I read, I DNF'd, so I figured the best thing that you can do to get out of a reading slump, and so that way it doesn't continue, is to either read one, like a really short book, or two, read a book from your favorite author and that you'll know you'll love and enjoy. So I decided that I'm gonna read Look Out for the Little Guy by Scott Lang. I heard it's the Ant-Man book, I know. And by the looks of it, it's not even 200 pages. And there's a bunch of like frequently asked questions sections in it. And this is kind of like what, just a really small, quick read. I figured I could probably read it in the afternoon, maybe like 2 hours or something like that. So I figured, why not give it a go, right? And the best part is, for this new book, got a new bookmark, so it's going to be super fantastic. Alright, so that is my plan for right now. Wish me luck, and I'll let you know what I think about it, either when I'm done or halfway through. Alright, bye! Hello, and welcome to this reading dip here. I have now finished reading Look Out for the Little Guy by Scott Lang. The book is just purely satire, very satirical, hilarious to read. And what it's about is just, Scott Lang's life, or through the movies, it's just depicting his part of like every single Marvel movie that he's ever been in, and it's ridiculous, right? And it's just hilarious, and just how like I'm actually happy and glad that I picked it up and I was able to read it. And it's just, if I were to ever go to a Comic-Con and he was there, I would definitely get him to sign it. Like, this is very, 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 it's hilarious. And I can't get over it, right? And just how ridiculous he is. I mean, like, Paul Rudd's a very funny guy, and this is he played the character very well, and the humor is great, and just how it came from him. Oh my gosh. So, like, I would recommend it. It's a cutesy little read, and it does have some frequently asked questions in there, and it also has, like, some photos, like, from the movies, and it's just, you know what, if you want a good time to spend, like, an hour or two, right, I suggest pick it up. It's a lot of fun. Alright, bye! Alright, welcome to this reading dip. I have started to read What the River Knows, and so far I'm not really captivated by it, but I know it has a lot of great potential, so reading that. But my book of the month order did come in, and what did I get? Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth. Right, I think this is going to be a good choice. But then, because it's my birthday month, I got a book for free, and I decided to get The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. Yes, I did borrow this from the library. I never ended up reading it, but now I have my own copy, and I think I'll like this book a lot. So I'm excited about that. But then, the best part about it is that the bookmark I got is page is just a number, which is true, right? So, I now have my TBR for the next little while is this 3 book of the month books. I'm excited for it. You should be too, right? I am going out for dinner tonight, but then I'll be back to do some reading, and I'll give you an update with What the River Knows, because I refuse to DNF 3 books in a row, and yeah, so I'm just gonna see how it goes, take it from there. I'm sure I like it, it's always a thumbs up. Alright, bye! Hello and welcome to this reading dip. I've read a little bit more of What the River Knows, and it's a bit of a slow read for me. I don't know if I'm heading into a reading slump or not, but it's just, we're getting into it. The main girl, Inez, she has found one of her father's, her parents' friends, and I think it's like her mother's brother, like her uncle, and he's keeping a secret from her, and it's just, the mystery will unsolve, and they're trying to find something. There's just magic in Cleopatra's ring, and they're just trying to figure it all out. but the uncle isn't being really forward with her, and it's just very much of the times where women aren't equal and there's a lot of inequality, and he just keeps telling her to, you know, get out of the way and to be quiet because that's, you know, like a woman's place, especially in 1886, right? And so maybe that's what it is. I'm finding just, I guess right now I'm just finding it to be completely dry, and I'm just not reading it very fast. So, but I am gonna finish reading it, and it may be a bit of a longer read for me, but I do plan to finish it by the end of the week. So, you know, here's hoping, and hopefully once, you know, we get past this introductory part and we get into the meat and potatoes of the book, it'll get a little bit better for me. We'll find out, right? And just, you know, give it a thumbs up or power on through. Just like, you know, sometimes when you're applying and looking for work, you need to rework your resume, which is like what I have been doing. And that sometimes with reworking your resume, that I was really inspired and I applied to a lot of jobs today. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to find something rather soon, you know, fingers crossed, as they say. And but you know what, I am trying to appreciate the time that I have, and with my crafts, because I was making kind of like two bags, or a bag and a scarf at the same time, but I've just decided that I'm going to just knit the one scarf right now, get that done and out of the way, because I feel like the reason why I haven't been doing a lot of knitting is because it's just the dread of having to do both at the same time. So I'm thinking, just get the one done and out of the way, and hopefully that'll help me, you know, encourage me to do a little bit more and get that all out of the way. You know what I'm saying? I'm just rambling. Ugh, my gosh. It's late and I'm ready for bed. So that's what I'm going to do. So hopefully everybody had a great and wonderful day. They enjoyed the beautiful 20 degrees, right? It's a little bit windy, but it was definitely warm, nice. And now I'm excited to end the day with a good night's rest. Alright, bye. Hello and welcome to another Divot. So I've now finished part 1 of 4 of What Lies Ever the River Knows. I'm sorry. And it's getting good. And so now Inez and her uncle are leaving Cairo to go back to Argentina. But because part 2 is called Up the River, which is the Nile River, so I'm sure things are going to get more interesting, right? And that they want to know where Cleopatra is buried, and this other guy has the ring that has the magic to lead them to Cleopatra, but they don't have it. But this book, it does have, like, sometimes periodically through it some pictures, and I'm trying to find one that I think would be good to show. Right, so here's one of the photos that's in just a little like, snippet that I think are really, really good. I'm happy that they're in here. Right, and so I thought that was like a nice little like added touch for this book, and definitely keeps it more interesting. Oh yeah, and Inez just has realized that maybe her uncle's involved with some criminal activity. But I guess this photo right here of a guy, I think, is like the best one yet. Right, but so far it's just not a touch. I thought this book was moving a little bit slow. Now that I guess if we got a little bit of background knowledge of what's going on, it is getting interesting. So I'm super excited about it. I do have to step out to the library, so I'm hoping when I get home I'll be able to read some more of it, and I'll catch you up then. And I guess like part of it, like my frustration is just that I've spent, I guess all the other books were kind of faster paced, and this is a little bit slower, so I'm just kind of like, ugh, but I know I'm gonna like it. I know it's gonna be great, so you know, thumbs up for that. All right, bye. Hello, I have another Divot for you. This reading Divot is that I got another Brian Selznick book of Robot King, and when I was there they also had Kaleidoscope, so I'm just like, I could have got that, the physical book, versus getting that using a Hoopla credit, but you know what? Doesn't matter, right? So I'm going to try to read this one, and it has more words in it than it does actual pictures, but there are pictures in it. But I am excited to kind of read this. I'm probably not going to read it tonight, but I might. We'll see. But you know, it's another classic by Brian Selznick. Thumbs up. Hello and welcome back to this reading debate. So what happened was that I just finished reading Robot King by Brian Selznick, and it was really good. I would say 3.5 stars out of 5. What happened is that these two kids, Ezra and Lucy, they find this robot in their attic and they end up waking it up, and this robot ends up taking them on some adventures, and he just like shines a flashlight. They're able to walk into it and they're just able to go on these like really great adventures, and then the robot shines light again and they're able to come home. It was a really cute, easy read. It was only 80 pages and there was like photos in it, so it was really well done. I really enjoyed it. I would recommend it. I'm just happy that the library had it and I had the opportunity to pick it up. I would recommend it to all those who like Brian Selznick. Hello and welcome to this reading debate. I have now officially finished What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. I didn't really like it. I would not suggest. Like a 1 out of 2 stars from me. And what it is just about is about this girl. She goes on this trip to Cairo to see if she can find Cleopatra, and she's being led to believe that her father was this really bad man, and that both her parents were like killed, and were just, her father especially was bad. But it turns out that her mother was still alive, and that it was actually her mother that was really bad, and that that he may or may not have been murdered, and it's just by who and the reasoning why, which you're trying to figure it out. Inez was able to get in touch with or find Cleopatra's tomb, which was really great. But and she does like kind of somewhat have like there is a bit of a love interest, or her and a guy named Whitford. They end up being on this trip together. They end up going on this adventure together, or being met up or paired up, and they do have this like back and forth, but for the most part she hates him. But it was okay. I think like I was more hoping there would be something different than what it was, right? And I didn't get what I wanted of it. That's why I think about it, but it was alright. I would maybe try it again later just to see if I liked it, but it is what it is. But now I am going to read my book of the month pick, Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth. I think it'll be a great book. It's another thriller. I like my thrillers, so we're gonna read it and find out and see what it is, because apparently revenge is sweet. Alright, bye. Hello and welcome to this reading debate. I have started reading Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth, and it's really actually good. Right, so far we're just getting the backstory of the 3 girls, Jessica, Nora, and I forget the other girl's name. Sorry, Jessica, Nora, and Alicia, yeah, right, and how they are all in foster care, and they end up going to the same Miss Fetworth's home all together, and we're gonna discover the. And so far, all I know is that the home in which they all grew up in was sold to the town so that way they could build a McDonald's. And when they were making room for the parking lot, that they found bones, and so they're being called in by the investigating detective to see what's going on. Ooh, so I'm sure it's gonna be a good story. I love thrillers. It's something that I discovered I really liked last year, so yeah. Alright, I'll keep you updated to let you know how it goes. Alright, bye. Alright, so for this reading debate, I am now officially halfway through Darling Girls, and I'm really reading through it quite quickly. I'm really liking it. You're really getting to know the 3 girls' time in foster care, and they've now made it back to the small town near Fairmeadows, and it takes place in Australia, and it's just, like they have a pool apparently the property has a pool, but the kids have never been in it, and it's just, I have to leave it on the cliffhanger because I do have to step out to volunteer at the bookstore, but where I've left it off is just these three girls, they barricaded themselves in their bedroom, and the Miss Fairchild who looks after them was trying to get in. They told her to just go away, and now it's the morning, and there's no trace of her, so they don't know what's going on. So it's just what happened to her, but we'll soon find out. And I hopefully, oh man, I know I'll get to be able to read it more tonight, and I'm hoping that maybe I'll finish it, but I know that's a far cry, but it is a really fast, easy read. I'm loving it. Thumbs up so far. Well, hello and welcome to this reading dip. I've now finished reading Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth. I knew I was going to finish it tonight. It was just something about thrillers, and it's very crisscross applesauce. So during the story, I think where I left off, that the girls had barricaded themselves in the room, and then when they woke up the next morning on the cliffhanger, Miss Fairchild wasn't there. When she came back with this toddler girl named Amy, and they didn't know what to make her, right? And they just thought it was like really weird, and how, right? And then they had Amy for about 6 months, and they were like, well, we think Miss Fairchild's been abusing her and all these things. And so then they like told the police went to the house, and they saw that well, there was no evidence of Amy ever being there, and it was this whole big thing. But throughout the book, there are these like doctor's visits that somebody was going to, you weren't really supposed to know, but then it kind of alluded that it was that after a while you kind of realize that this is Mrs. Fairchild seeing this psychologist. And ultimately, I don't want to give away the ending, right? But it just, you were led to believe that the bones underneath the house are Amy, but are they? Right? Is Amy still alive? Does Amy go by a different name? All these questions, and everybody comes back, but oh my goodness. And the person does go down for it, but she's still lying, that she's still not telling the truth. And it's just, you do get to see after this event happened, like the investigation like, years later, and how people did come out and tell the truth, and the reasons like why everything just kind of went down the way that it did. And it's just, oh my gosh, revenge is definitely sweet. And it's all, like my darling girls. Oh my goodness. And it's just, oh man, the stories, and it's just, you can't exactly get over it. Oh my gosh. I would highly suggest this book. It was just such a page turner, and just how it just ended up being. I just can't get over it. Oh my gosh. 5 out of 5 stars for me for these darling girls. Definitely read, and I will look forward to rereading this book. It was fantastic. Gosh, definitely a good read. Hello, and welcome to the end of this week's vlog. So, I figured the next book I'm going to read is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. And it is the last book of the month book in which, I have right now. And it's a pretty thick book, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to like it anyways. And just, I'm going to like the book, and so it's just, I don't know. So the end of the vlog is my vlog is gonna end right here for today. I've read enough books this week, read a few graphic novels. Especially I found more of the pizza and taco books, which are fantastic graphic novels, right? Because you got the friendship dance of a big jump, fist bump, and a butt bump, right? Best friendship dance ever. Alright, so I don't know what I'm going to read next, but all I know is that I should be reading more of the Wheel of Time series, and the next book of that is Lord of Chaos. So that is an option, but at the end of the day, I don't know what I'm really going to do. all I'm going to focus is making sure that I finish all of my Book of the Month books, and The Invisible Life of Anna LaRue is it. Alright, bye. See y'all next week.